Okay, so I am updating our week 3 in CIT82 to reflect some changes that I've already set up in my JavaScript class. So you all are doing in week 3 what they did in week 1. And these videos here, these first items on Monday reflect that new process. But I thought what I would do, and I know I run the risk of running into issues here, is in this first video I would just walk through them, not necessarily talking about it a lot. And I definitely recommend watching here. At this point in the process, you'll have to actually reply to the discussion board in order to move on, so I definitely recommend doing that. So the first thing is installing VS Code. I did that. It was pretty straightforward. I just went and searched for VS Code and installed it, downloaded it, and installed it. Now I'm running on Windows today. I normally run on my Mac, but I know many of you are running on Windows, so I decided I'd do that. Okay, and then I downloaded Git. Now, in this case, if you're wondering if you're 64 or 32-bit version, and again, just download Git is the search term. If you are not sure which version, or what your operating system, therefore your computer's running on Windows, if you right click on this computer and you go down and find system type, I see I have a 64-bit, so that's which one I would install. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and install. I'm going to hide that. I'm going to go ahead and complete the install of Git. And you'll see how this all works together once we get through it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And the reason I decided to stop here was that there was a couple more options I think that may have changed with the latest version of Git. I'm going to leave these as default. I'm going to have it install in the Git directory. I changed this. It was actually VIM. So I changed it to be my Visual Studio is my editor, my default editor, Visual Studio Code. Okay, that's what I recommend. And then let Git decide as far as the branches go. And then I believe these are all just defaults here, using also third party. OpenSSH. I default through these. I'll tell you when I get to the one where I went, oh, maybe I should record. Git pull is default. I think this is it. And I believe this is the default here, which is the new credential manager. Because what you're going to have to do from your local system is actually connect your local system to GitHub through this credential manager. Okay. I'll hit next. Enable system. I'm going to just take the defaults here and then let it install. Now this will just take a second, shouldn't take very long, it'll be pretty quick. And once it's done, I'm going to show you kind of how it changes the VS Code install, and then I'll actually walk through doing the steps. Again, this is definitely still recommended watching the other ones. So I'm going to just go ahead and hit finished. I'm not going to look at the release notes in this case, and I'm good to go. So now I'm going to go into this VS Code, this editor that we're going to be working in for the rest of the semester. Let me go ahead and close it and show you kind of what the default is you will see here. It's going to say open a folder, and you can either create this default folder. In the videos, you'll see me do it for my JavaScript, so I wanted to do it for your class. So anytime you're watching those other videos, just know that this is the process. So I'm going to put it on, you could put it on your documents, right? You could put it anywhere. Just for my purposes, I'm going to put it on my desktop. I am going to right click and I'm going to say new. I'm going to say folder. And this is what I recommend, CIT82. I don't know if I can make this any bigger, but 82FA, and I capitalize that, no space, 21. Okay, so CIT82FA21, go ahead and select there. And what that does is, yes, I want to trust it, trust all the files here. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go clone. Actually, I think what we'll do here before we do that is I'll show you terminal. I'll do a new terminal window. Cool. What I will do here is you can use PowerShell if you want. I am going to use Bash, okay, just because I like Bash. Bash is what I'm used to, and Bash is just the command line interface that you can select for running command line codes that I just think is better. Okay. All right. So now that we're here, now what we're going to do is actually do the clone. Okay. So just to give you an idea, so we did this and then we created the folder and now we're going to clone. And this is where I'm going to go out to GitHub. So I'm going to go to my first repo, which I'm going to do 82. You're going to end up with 3 here. I'm just going to search for mine. I'm going to do the private one first because there's actually a little something there I'll talk about. I'm going to go over to code. I'm going to copy this. Okay. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, that might create a little problem. I'll show you in a minute what that might do. So now that I'm in this folder, right, I have terminal open. I'm going to do so I'm going to do git. By the way, you can do -- version to see what version you have. Lets you know git is installed. So I'm going to do git, and I'm going to increase the size here, clone, and I'm going to paste in. Yeah, doesn't look something there, but that's okay. Okay. So what it's doing right now, it's actually asking for my login credentials. And what I can do here is I can actually paste in a token. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you where to find the token. Okay. And because this actually is the part that's changed from the recordings that I did just before the summer, is in here. Let me show you where I mean by here. You go while you're in GitHub. And what this is this not allowing the password to go across the wire. So I'm going to go into my account, go over and click on my icon, go into settings. I'm going to go into scroll down to developer options, personal tokens. And then what you want to do is you want to, and this is the one I just did a minute ago. Okay. I'm going to do one that I'm going to end up probably just because I don't want to put it out on YouTube. So I'll generate a new one, right? To be deleted later. Now you can just put wherever you're doing this from. And then, oh yeah, look at this. This token will expire in 30 days. So I probably want to make it expire in like maybe 60 to 90 because of the duration of the course. And then I'm only going to select here repo, and that the rest of this you don't need to. You scroll down. And when you do this, I'm actually going to hit pause on the video so I don't show my token, but you will get a token and that will be copied. You'll want to copy that token. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so now I'm going to come back here, and here's where I'm going to paste that token in. Okay, it's long. Now, let me go back to VS Code. And what that did is it actually now connected my computer to GitHub through the Git command line and through its local credentials. So now I can do my next one, and you're going to end up doing git clone, and then you'll do your private and your public, and you'll end up doing the other one. Ooh, let's just for a minute here. We're not done yet, right? I am still recording, right? Yes. Okay. Um, so you'll go through this process now again and do your public. Well, let's just do it. We'll do it with you. Since this is because I think the rest of these steps should be fine that are in the video. So now I'll do the public one. I'll come over here. I'll grab this by copying because you only have to do that token once. I'm going to do git clone and we'll do this. Okay. So that'll give me my 2 repos so now we're working local, and you'll hear me say, once we work local, always use this as your source and don't update GitHub anymore through the web interface. And the last one we are going to do is actually the one that you created, that is your GitHub IO. Now this one is for you on not inside of our course. I think it's here if I go into settings maybe. Yeah, I can just go to here, go to the icon, go to my directory. There we go. No, it's actually, sorry, you guys, my bad. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go / my username just to quickly get in there. It's kind of a faster way. So now this GitHub IO repo that we created, I'm going to hit copy. So now we're going to have all three here. Okay, just git clone. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not responding to my keystrokes. Copy that. Oh, there it goes. It was lagging, probably because I was recording. So git clone, and I'm going to paste that. So I now will have those three repos. That's how you'll end up doing this. Okay, so now in this case, right? Now the workflow in this video are, I don't need to redo these because this is the same, follow this, but this short video should at least give you the overview for, I think, some possible changes that have happened. And this is what's kind of crazy. From the time the semester started, like 3 or 4 weeks, already this process has changed a little bit. So I hope this video, I know it was a little confusing, so I apologize for that. But again, there are videos here where I do this for my 93, my JavaScript class, and I talk about creating that folder. So there are videos here, but I want you to know, actually this should be, let me just do it while we're in here, FA21, okay? All right, continue on and you'll get the workflow set up and you'll be good to go. And just make sure you're reading carefully about what you need to do for this first item, such an important one for our class, which is doing this work, doing a reply, then talking about the GitHub workflow, and then do lectures. So we're kind of reversed this week. But I think you'll understand why once we get all the way there. So make sure now, if you followed along with me and you got that done, otherwise watch all those. And then this is the process that will work for you all no matter what happened before or what OS you're on. Because once you get everything set up, then it's just a matter of following the commands. All right, talk to you later.